Hey everyone, Harrison back at it once again with a brand new video for you, and welcome to part 2 of my look at the Formula 1 2012 demo. Love, I almost said FIFA 13 for a second there. That video is coming tomorrow, so it's another stretch where you guys are getting 3 videos in 3 days, which is going to be sweet. Just so you guys, just before I get started, I want to say a couple of things. First of all, congratulations to Andy Murray winning his first Grand Slam title, beating Novak Djokovic at the US Open last night. What a gangster. Nice to see Murray finally wins a big one. He deserves it for sure. And for all you wrestling fans out there, my thoughts and prayers go out to Jerry the King Lawler after, incredibly, he suffered a heart attack live on Raw last night. Had to be administered CPR, was rushed to hospital, but it's positive signs. I think he's awaiting a CT scan last time I checked. So yeah, obviously a horrible incident. Props to everybody on the show for keeping it going. Just a very shocking and very eye-opening situation, to say the least. But it looks like he's stable and slowly getting there. So obviously here's hoping that Jerry is okay. Anyway, on to the main order of business. This demo. Now, this one isn't live. I thought I wouldn't make this one live for the reason of I've actually got a lot of things to explain and talk about. You're watching is going to be the season challenge. This season challenge is basically, it's basically like an arcade version of doing a regular season. You know what I mean? Because obviously you've got your quick race there as normal, but I think season challenge is going to be a bit of like an arcadey short version of career mode. It's going to be a 10 race season. Of each race is 5 laps. It's a 1 lap qualifying system. You choose a rival, and if you beat your rival well enough, you'll get contract offers to move up to their team, and eventually, obviously, get to a top-level team and try to win the World Championship. Like I said, each race is 5 laps. You'll see things like little things I actually quite like about, for instance, how the cars are now locked to park Ferme conditions for race events, which is actually quite a nice touch. Just in general speaking, the presentation I think has been, you know, the biggest part of you know, this game in general. See, what people don't know is that I've actually played the full version of F1 2012. Reason being is because I actually went to a Eurogamer Community event. It was in central London last week, I should say, more specifically. Down there they had Tekken Tag Tournament 2, FIFA 13, and the full copy of F1 2012. It's not the final copy you'll buy when it comes out next weekend, or next Friday, I should say, but I mean, obviously, I think Andy Gray, the community manager, the communications manager for the game, was down there, and he filled in a lot of the details. He said there's a chance some things could get changed at the last minute, but it's 95% there pretty much. And right now the game is looking excellent. There's a lot of subtle things in this year's game that I really like. The cars feel more like Formula 1 cars, but at the same time, it feels like it's more accessible to those with a pad. A lot of guys who have wheels really like F1 2011, and you know, obviously a lot of guys have racing wheels and they want the game to play really well with the wheel. Not everybody's like that. I've always said from day one, I've always been a pad player. Simply put, I don't have the room in my bedroom to be able to incorporate a wheel. That's just not going to happen for me. But the game feels a lot more solid and robust with a pad, and the cars feel a lot more like Formula 1 cars. I mean, we always hear about Formula 1 drivers in the media saying these cars are so incredibly difficult to drive and so sensitive, and the cars do feel more sensitive this year. You'll feel like if you make a mistake, you made it, rather than the car acting out of control and, you know, you oversteering into a spin. It feels like you genuinely made that mistake, and if you're too aggressive with these cars, it will bite you, even if you have, because you've seen the video. I cut out my first attempt. I might upload it another time, but I spun out quite a few times the first time I played the game, and simply put, it is very simple to do that. It really is. simply because you see in the gameplay you're watching, it's with full traction control on, and even with that setting, if you make one over aggressive move, if you sweep the steering wheel too hard, or you put your power down too early coming out of a corner, you will spin the car, which I think is excellent because it just feels more like a Formula 1 car. It's about realism at the end of the day, and that's exactly what this is all about. And this game feels like it's hooked up razor tight. Like I said, the other big changes, the improvements in presentation. The main menu looks fantastic, very smooth, very slick. It's like I'm playing Mass Effect again, but it looks great. It really does. Champions mode. Now, Champions mode, a lot of people have been asking me about that. And Champions mode is basically you beating the 6 Formula 1 drivers on the grid of this year's season. So that's Sebastian Vettel, Fernando Alonso, Lewis Hamilton, Jenson Button, Kimi Raikkonen and Michael Schumacher. And these are all 6 different individual challenges where you're put in a race scenario and you have to exceed a certain goal in the time, or and you have to clear a certain scenario to win. For example, Lewis Hamilton's, you're in Brazil, it started to rain, there's 3 laps to go in the race, Lewis Hamilton's just changed for a pair of wet tyres. You have to stay out on the slicks. You have to hold off Lewis Hamilton for the last 3 laps and win the race. On slicks. On a wet track in Brazil. Yeah, think that sounds challenging? It is, trust me. I tried at Eurogamer. It was very difficult, but very, very rewarding when you did get it right. And I was with Scott, aka Gaming Riot, Game Riot Army. Check him out on YouTube, obviously. He'll know all about this as well. So if you want more Formula 1 2012 thoughts, and if you want more FIFA 13 thoughts, go check him out. We've played the full games. So again, let us know what you think of the demo and things like that as well. But in the meantime, just to let you know, Champions mode looks fantastic. I'm really liking the little changes in presentation. The renders of the drivers look really, really good. The models of them look fantastic. So again, much props to Codemasters where that's concerned. The game is looking very tight. The gameplay is looking very, very realistic and tight. The cars sound fantastic this year. And again, there's more little things that make it sound great. Corner cutting has been reduced a little bit. It's been refined in certain areas, which I think is an excellent change that needed to happen. Illegal overtakes is a lot of things that pissed a lot of people off in Formula 1 2011. A lot of them being unfair. Here's the thing. They've changed the system now where if you overtake somebody illegally, the game will give you a chance to be able to give the place back. You've got a certain amount of time limit. I'm sorry I couldn't get you an example in this video, but again, it's on YouTube. I'm sure you can find it, where you will be able to give the guy a place back in a certain. If you got like 6 or 7 seconds to hand the place back to the guy you passed illegally. And then you won't get a penalty for it, which is an excellent idea. It happens in real Formula 1, and I'm glad they put that into the game. The young driver test I was talking about, it's not going to help any veterans out because you all know how to drive the car. I mean, if you know what you're doing, it's not going to benefit you. But again, for the rookies, it's good to try and embrace new players into the game with a young driver test like that, because it does what it needs to do, and it's exactly what it says on the tin. It's a training mode, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's always good to get the new gamers in there and to help them out a little bit more towards learning about how the game properly works. There was no online that said gamer event, obviously, so who knows how that's going to turn out. Probably more carnage in the early days and how it's going, but hopefully the 11-11 glitch won't come back either, because that was a nasty one last year. If you set your springs to 11, you get an unhealthy advantage offline because tyre wear didn't count in sprint races, but you still reap the benefits of having your springs set to 11. So hopefully that won't be in Formula 1 2012. I don't think it will be. But overall, I am really, really loving the game. I've already pre-ordered it. I had a feeling it was going to be excellent. I'm glad I got a chance to play it first, because the more this has got all the potential to be the best Formula 1 game ever made, and that's better than the Sony ones made by Studio Liverpool, because I've never played a Formula 1 game where it feels like I'm driving a Formula 1 car. From the sound effects to the engines to the way the cars handle and respond to movement, it feels fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how the full game turns out. But from what I've played, obviously I need more time, you know, to give you a proper, true idea of how the game works as a complete package. But from the time I played that, which was a good 2 or 3 hours, it felt excellent. I really enjoyed it. Just you know, look forward to it. If you haven't bought an F1 game yet, or if you bought 2010, you missed 2011. Go give 2012 a shot. I guarantee it. I guarantee you, it'll be a very rewarding thing to play, because it might be tricky at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's a game that gives back to you in the sense of you feel great. It's rewarding. It feels like, you know, you've done well to drive it that well, and it's just a great experience. So I absolutely highly recommend Formula 1 2012 to you guys. But if you've played the demo, or if you've been lucky enough to go to events and play the full game, please let me know what you thought. I'd love to hear you guys' takes on it and your opinions on the demo, on the game. Do you use a pad? Do you use a steering wheel? How does that affect you? I'd love to be able to, you know, to get you guys' feedback on that. So if you have an opinion, please let me know. Please leave a like as well. That would be excellent. Must admit, come on, I deserve a like for beating Romain Grosjean and making him my rival. Come on, I'm sure some of you guys got a chuckle out of that. Surely that deserves a like. But I know a ton of you guys liked part 1 of my demo, so thank you all very much for that. And quick, just before I go, thanks to everybody who got me to 400,000 total YouTube views, a combined 400,000 video views on all my videos now. I must admit, a massive chunk of that push was a result of the Grosjean video, which now has 45,000 views. It's the most watched. Is the most watched video in the history of the Harrison 101 HD YouTube account. So thank you all very much for that. I do really appreciate it. Thank you all very much for watching. Let me know what you thought. Like, comment, favorite, and subscribe, and I will catch you tomorrow for the FIFA 13 demo video. Sayonara.